This second week of September, it's Friday the 13th. Terrain. Now, let's remove all those bad omen stories and bring in the good stories, okay? So, Safaricom has come up with one package that tells you it's all in one. 2,000 shillings a month, City. What do you get?
For 2,000 shillings a month, my friend, if I were to put it in a sentence, I would say...
Let us start with the number of SMSs. How many SMSs?
SMS, unapata kama 2,000.
2,000 SMSs.
Exactly.
How many minutes, call minutes?
1,000.
How much data?
17 GB.
Put the icing on the cake.
My friend, ile kitu inaitwa what is up. Hiyo, bure.
Free.
So
Free WhatsApp.
You can just WhatsApp until.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Imagine. People are saying today the show is about imagine. Yes, imagine.
Please, extend your imagination.
2,000 bob. And all you need to do is just dial star 544 hash. That's star 544 hash. It'll bring in this suite of options. Go to the Go Monthly option. And then you'll select the all-in-one monthly bundle. You pay 2,000 bob and you get all that. That's a lot. Now, there's something else. Because today is Friday the 13th, we want to make things a bit better. Okay?
Yes.
If you go there and you choose a plan for more data, more minutes, more than we can reward you. We are going to give somebody some money this morning. 3,000 shillings worth of airtime. Worth of Safaricom airtime. 3,000 shillings by the end of this show. What we want you to do is go, do that 544 hash, or use your my Safaricom app, subscribe to the Go Monthly, pay the 2,000 bob, send the proof of purchase, put it on, to send a screenshot on our DM on X. That's Spice FM KE on X. If you post that on our DM on X, our social media guys are going to pick one, and that one is going to get how much? 3,000 shillings.
Worth of airtime.
Who was our social media guys, our Gen Z guy? What's his name?
Avin.
That one. Avin Gen Z. Avin Gen Z is going to pick one person to win 3,000 shillings. All you need to do, star 544 hash, or go to my Safaricom app and select the Go Monthly all-in-one package. Hivyo tu, we give you back your money. You're paying 2,000, we give you 3,000. Say, no. What are these things people talk about? Why do people joke?
I don't know.
Benefit
is at your doorstep, knocking, even calling you out.
And here you are joking.
Yes.
Yeah? Just like we've been telling people, go to your App Store or Play Store and download Loop. And you're saying, Loop what? Loop what? Why wait while you can loop? What's Loop, City?
Well, actually, it's a lifestyle. I mean, you may not sound like it's a lifestyle, but believe me, it is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
When you have an opportunity to, make it possible for yourself to actually get an overdraft. Possible for you to get a loan. Overdraft of 100,000 Kenyan shillings.
Yep.
A loan. 3 million shillings. If all these things are possibilities which are at yours for the asking, all you simply need to do is download the Loop app from Play Store or App Store. That's it.
Evo 2.
That's it.
Yep.
When you download it, the information will be at your fingertips. What does that mean? It means that all these benefits we keep speaking of are also at your fingertips.
Yeah.
It's up to you, though.
Take advantage.
Download.
Yep.
And start the journey.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Let's continue talking about agriculture. So in the last hour, we had the PS for livestock development. Now, let's talk about the other side of agriculture, cash crop, okay? Coffee. Big cash crop in this country.
Massive.
One of the top export earners for very many years in this country. And then things started happening and farmers were like, this coffee thing is not helping us. In fact, let's just start cutting off the coffee bushes,
yes.
And start doing other things. Tunaweza weka machungwa.
Tunaweza kujenga nyumba.
Tujenga nyumba and all those things. And then the government was like, all right, so what are the challenges that farmers are facing? One, it's cash flow issues. So let's address all these things by coming up with a fund. Coffee Sher Fund. It has done very many things. It was intended to do very many things, but we don't know about them because the MP who's here is going to tell us the genesis of it and how far it's doing right now. The MP for Gathoni constituency, Gathoni Wachomba, good morning.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Umesahau hiyo.
Allah?
Daktari.
There's news.
The woman for the job.
Yeah? The woman.
Yes.
For the job.
My pastor keeps telling me that if you want to preach to people, first preach to yourself. And I've already preached to myself that I'm the woman for the job.
Do you know just how ideal that is? Because those who studied counseling or counseling psychology first counsel themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. So before I convince other people to believe in me, I believe in myself first. That I am the woman for the job.
Kabesa.
Very well. So where have you been, Eric, for some time?
Oh, I've been here this week.
No, last week, but one I didn't hear you.
Last week I had taken some time off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's very important.
10212.
Yeah.
Yeah, kuenda kufanya your counseling psychology ya city.
When you are away.
Talk to myself.
When you are away. Somebody crafted to take away our cherry fund.
What do you mean?
Somebody wrote a very scheming letter.
What do you mean?
Yes.
To whom?
To the ministry to reallocate money.
Wait.
To reallocate money. Na sio pesa kidogo, pesa mingi.
Wait. City, please give her the proverb first.
First of all, temperature kishuka kidogo. Hii proverb ni mzuri sana. A beggar and a ruler know people best. Now, our proverbs for the whole of this week have been from the Federal Republic of Somalia. This is our final proverb from that particular country.
A beggar
and a ruler know people best. You, Mheshimiwa, are a ruler. And so you fall into the category of those who know people best. Yes. Eric and I fall in the category of beggar. So
we also know the people
best.
Because the name beggar and ruler are in action mode. Isn't it?
Verb.
Yes. Action mode means you can't be a ruler if you are not acting.
You're absolutely right.
You can't be a beggar if you are not acting. So you are acting to the name. So you must be knowing what you act to. It's like you're saying, I'm a teacher, but I don't teach. So why are you a teacher? Whom do you teach?
What are you teaching?
What are you teaching? And incidentally, by the way, some of the rulers were beggars. And some of the beggars were rulers.
True.
Some.
True.
So they know each other. And they know the tactics.
Gathoni,
Yo.
please tell us about the Coffee Cherry Fund. First of all, what is it?
Coffee Cherry Fund is a facilitative fund to facilitate coffee farmers to be able to do what they're supposed to do best in terms of best farming practices, to get the right quality of coffee, to afford to buy inputs for their coffee, and to maintain quantities that are needed to make business sense. So the government realized that coffee industry is a money-demanding industry for you to be able to yield the right amount. And they realized most of the farmers don't have that money, cash flow, to buy pesticides, to buy, all the farming inputs. And even the pruning and the picking of coffee demands a lot of money for you to be able to hire people because, it's a labor-intensive crop. So the government, during Kibaki's time, that is between the year 2004 to 2006, came up with a coffee development fund, a fund that was initiated to help the farmers develop themselves. Unfortunately, that fund was mismanaged. Later on, we realized that we actually do not need the development of infrastructures in factories. We actually need to fund the farmer at the doorstep, or what we call the farm gate. So we derived another fund called Coffee Advanced Cherry Fund. That fund is specifically supposed to be loaned to the farmers who have crops so that they can afford to pick, to prune, and to maintain the quality that is needed and quantities. And that fund was created for the purpose of empowering farmers, coffee farmers. Unfortunately, Eric, there has been a lot of coffee politics. People thinking that coffee farmers are given money for free. For your understanding, Coffee Advance Cherry Fund is not a grant. It is a revolving fund which is loaned to the farmers. So you are loaned. Once you are paid your money, you pay back. In fact, as we speak right now, we have something called DSS, Direct Settlement System, whereby if your coffee goes to the auction and a buyer buys your coffee, before they pay you the money, they deduct the Coffee Advance Cherry Fund that you are given, you are loaned. So farmers pay whether they want it or not, because the buyers don't pay directly, they pay through DSS, which has that function of deducting the coffee cherry fund. But out there, people think this is free money for coffee farmers, so they can play around with this money.
So how much is in this fund?
Before Kenya Kwanza government came in, the Uhuru Kenyatta Jubilee government had left about 2.75 billion of that fund in the account, and the money was available. In fact, then the challenge was most factories were not functional properly. There was no proper documentation into the disbursement of the money. So money was held by KPCU. And this money is domiciled at KPCU.
Okay.
Are we together up to that?
And it's supposed to be coming from KPCU to the individual factories?
To the individual farmer. Not even factories, farmer.
How?
Through the DSS system. The DSS system has database of every individual farmer who farms coffee under the cooperatives.
Okay.
So every cooperative has factories under it, and every factory has the database of every farmer. So when you apply for cherry fund, you apply at the factory level.
Okay.
But the money is normally sent to your individual account as a farmer. Are we together?
Okay.
The same system of sending money to the farmer is the same system that is being used when their coffee is sold. Whenever it is sold at the auction or wherever it is sold, the buyer sends money to a central system, a common system. Let me call it a common platform. This common platform works with the same system that disperses the cherry fund. So the money is sent to the individual farmer, but the farmer has to pay or be deducted the money they took as a loan.
Okay.
Now, when Kenya Kwanza government was elected, or when it came in 2022, they found some money in that account. And President Ruto campaigned on a promise of adding that cherry fund from 2.75 billion to about 4 billion.
Why did it need to be added?
Because the number of farmers that need these monies surpasses the amount that is available.
It surpasses the allocation.
Yes, by far.
Right.
The number of farmers that are actively farming coffee and are in need of this money, actually that money is not even, it cannot, 2.75 billion could not even cover my county alone. Forget about other counties, even Kiambu alone. That money was not sufficient. Because for you to be able to help a farmer, you need to give them anything above 80 shillings per kilo. If really you want to help me to make sure that at least I can only put 20 shillings on top of 80 shillings of cherry fund for me to be productive. So when you do the maths, that money was not sufficient. Even 4 billion was very, very little. But the president pledged and promised to add that money to 4 billion. That is after elections, something that never happened. So he came on to our areas, like in Githunguri. He promised he's going to do 4 billion. The first year, he didn't do. This year, he actually promised that it is not even going to be 4 billion, it's going to be 6 billion.
In this financial year,
Yes.
2024, 2025.
Yes. And a cabinet memo was done that 6 billion is going to be created on top of what was there for us to have sufficient cherry fund.
So to make it almost 9 billion.
It was supposed to be about, it was 2.75 billion plus 2 billion that was allocated last financial year, plus another 2 billion this year. That was about 6.75 billion.
So last year, 2 billion was allocated.
It was allocated.
Okay.
This year, another 2 billion. Then when we decided that the finance bill has been withdrawn, we lost that 2 billion. So we went back to the drawing board.
Then back to last year's allocation.
The last year's allocation. And out of last year's allocation, only 750 million was put instead of 2 billion. Allocation is different from
So in the budget,
disbursement.
in the budget,
Yeah.
on the Appropriations Act,
Yes.
2 billion shillings was to go to the coffee cherry fund.
Yes.
But it was not disbursed.
Yeah.
Only
Only 750 million.
million was disbursed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And no any other money. But when the president goes to Mount Kenya, he tells farmers that I have put for you 6 billion. That's what my farmers know. That is what Mount Kenya farmers know. That is what Mount Elgon farmers know. That is what Nande farmers know. That is what Baringo farmers know. That they have 6 billion shillings for cherry fund. And it is not factual.
So in truth, how much is there?
It is about 2.79 something. The money that is there right now.
Okay.
But the only money Kenya Kwanza government has ever given to farmers,
It's 750.
it is 750. Against the 6 billion narrative that they have been telling farmers.
Okay. So there's about 3.5 billion.
You know, this money has been revolving, so it keeps on also swelling because as the farmers pay, they pay
With interest.
With interest.
Okay.
So if it was 2.75 as seed capital, it keeps on swelling.
Right.
So I may not be able to tell you exactly to what level it is, but I'm just trying to
if you
tell
just
you what
operate
I
those
know.
numbers of
Yeah.
2.7 in
Yeah.
2022,
It should be about 3 point something or 4 point something.
about 4 billion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's good to be factual that the government of Kenya, Kenya Kwanza, the only money they have released to farmers for coffee cherry advance fund is 750 million, not 6 billion.
Okay.
And then along the way, PS Dr. Chris Kipto, and I can share with you this letter when I read it, the Principal Secretary, National Treasury in Nairobi, on the 22nd of August 2024, writes a letter to the PS. No, this is the Ministry of Cooperative.
Give City the letter.
Ebu wana hiyo barua.
City, read this letter.
Hii imeandikwa na PS wa Cooperative, Principal Secretary Bwana Kilemi. Bwana Patrick Kilemi is the PS, Ministry of Cooperative and Micro and Small and Medium Enterprises Development.
KPCU is under this state department.
KPCU is under this department.
And the KPCU is the custodian of this 2.7, whatever, 4 billion
I
shillings.
said the
coffee
fund
cherry
is
funds
domiciled at KPCU.
All right.
So this Patrick Kilemi, the PS, writes a letter to Kipto.
Dr. Chris Kipto,
Yes.
CBS, Principal Secretary, the National Treasury.
Yes.
Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes.
What date?
The date is 22nd August 2024.
The other day too?
Yeah.
I was on leave.
Just
Just the other day.
Okay.
Now let me explain this letter.
Just when I left the country.
Yes.
Yes.
That is why I told you while you are away. Baba wakati ulikuwa umeenda baba was spice. This letter says this is to request for reallocation of funds totaling to 1.5 billion from recurrent budget head 0010 Coffee Cherry Fund, subheaded item 2 of current grant to Sagas. The reallocated funds should be distributed to the following. Hii pesa inatolewa kwa akaunti ya KPCU, inapelekwa kwa hawa. 1. Dadora Coffee Warehouse, New KPCU.
Okay.
Sasa inatolewa kwa akaunti ya wakulima ya Kulon, inapelekwa kwa warehouse ya KPCU.
Okay.
Sababu
How much?
sijui 600 million.
To the Dandora Coffee Warehouse.
Yes, imetolewa from the mother account ya Cherry Fund yenye inapatia wakulima.
Mheshimiwa, what's that warehouse?
Warehouse iko hapa Dadora.
What does it do?
It's the one that receives farmers' coffee for milling.
Okay.
Or when the coffee is milled elsewhere and you want it to be prepared to go for the auction, unapeleka kwa hiyo warehouse.
Okay. So it's a
Alright?
storage facility.
It's a storage facility.
Okay.
Narok Milk Factory, New KCC, 150 million.
Milk.
Milk, yes. Remember, this is Coffee Advance Cherry Fund. Ronyanje's Milk Factory, New KCC, 150 million. Pavi Cotton Ginnery Headquarters, 150 million.
What's that?
Pavi Cotton Ginnery. Hii ni kazi ya pamba, si ndio? Grant to Nade Milk Factory, Kabiyet, 100 million. Grant to Kitutu Masaba Coffee Factory Headquarters, 30 million. Grants to women cooperative societies. In Wajir, 10 million. Mandera, 10 million. Garissa, 10 million. Headquarters. I don't know whether kuna cooperative societies ya headquarter ya wamama. Hiyo sijawahi sikia. 30 million. Grant to cooperatives without describing which ones. Coffee and milk in bracket. 290 million. Total 1.5 billion. Huu ni wizi. Wizi mchana. Wizi. Na nimekuja hapa kutangaza ni wizi wa serikali.
Ngoja tufanye break.
Kana hiyo kiruo.
Ngoja tufanye break. Just relax, just relax, okay? No need to be upset. Gathoni Wachomba is the MP for Githunguri constituency. Okay? We are talking about the coffee share fund. Okay? It was created a long time ago. Okay? To support coffee farmers. Okay? It gets real allocations in the budgets to just keep adding into this revolving fund. Okay? She's just been reading a letter here, reportedly authored by the Principal Secretary for Cooperatives to the Principal Secretary for the National Treasury, saying let's reallocate some of this money, 1.5 billion shillings from the Coffee Share Fund to those other institutions. Why? We'll be asking that. Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly.
This is the